All right, Deputy, can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me know when you're ready, and I'm ready.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Jartu. How are you?
Good, thank you. How about yourself?
I can't complain. Can't complain. I was not informed, Ms. Jartu, that we had anyone that needed interpretation. Let me just double check.
Okay.
No Spanish on our end, Your Honor.
Yep. Okay. Yep. You are actually good to go then, Ms.
All right.
Jartu.
Have a great afternoon.
All right. You too. Bye-bye. All right, Deputy. Yep. Whenever you're ready.
Nope, ready for you, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Marcus Thorpe. I'm one of the associate magistrate judges here in Clayton County. It is 11:02 a.m. and this is the first appearance for September 21st of 2024. Again, my name is Judge Marcus Thorpe. If you're having trouble hearing me, ladies and gentlemen, please let me know as we proceed this morning, because there are several things that I'm going to go over with you prior to starting the calendar as well as during. So please listen carefully, as it will help you to better understand the nature and purpose of today's proceedings. First, ladies and gentlemen, let me say I'm not here to try your case, to take a plea, or have any legal discussions with you about the specific facts of your case. The purpose of the first appearance hearing today is to inform you of what you've been charged with by the police, to advise you of certain rights, to set bond on those offenses for which the court is authorized to set bond, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and then to determine whether you qualify for the assistance of an attorney. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have the right to remain silent. So again, please do not attempt to tell me anything specific about your case or give me any legal defense that you may have. As I said, we are recording this live, and so by doing so, you subject yourself to information you may be telling me being used against you later on in your case. Now, in addition to the right to remain silent, you do have the right to a presumption of innocence, the right to an indictment by a grand jury for felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors. You have a right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf. You have the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you. You have the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense. And you also have the right to an attorney to represent you. If you cannot afford one, one can be appointed to you if you qualify. Now, some of you will be allowed to post what are called unrestricted bonds for your release from jail while your case is pending. These bonds can be posted in one of three ways. You can post a bond by paying cash, by the use of a commercial bonding company, or by property. Now, if you post a bond by cash, that means either you or someone you know will deliver the amount of the bond in cash that I'm going to tell you this morning, along with any fees that may be associated, to the sheriff's office. And the sheriff will hold that bond until your case is closed, and then they will return the money to you. Now, if you don't have the full amount in cash, you can use what's called a commercial bonding company. Now, instead of paying the whole amount, you would pay the bonding company roughly about 15%, but the difference is you don't get that fee back. So to give you an example that I like to use, if you're charged with battery family violence and I tell you your bond is $6,000, you would pay $6,000 plus any fees to the sheriff, and they'll hold it till your case closes and return it. If you use a bonding company and I tell you your bonding is about $6,000, you would be only responsible for 15%, which would roughly be about $750 that you don't get returned. Now, lastly, there is what's called a property bond. That would be if you or someone you know has at least 3 times the amount of your bond in equity in their home, then they can bring their deed down to the sheriff's office, who will hold it until your case is closed. Now, in addition to the bond, I'm going to tell you, some of you, ladies and gentlemen, that you're going to have what are called special conditions. Those conditions will prohibit you from going certain places or to contacting certain people. If I tell you that you were to have no contact with someone, this means you must stay away and not contact that person at all. You can't call them, text them, email them, write a letter to them, or contact them in any way on social media. You can't even do them something as nice as write them a song. Now, if I order you to stay away or not to return to a particular place, that means don't go back for any reason. Now, if that place I tell you not to go to is a place that you used to live at before this happened or allegedly happened, please, I will let you know, ladies and gentlemen, that you are allowed to return there if you bond out, but you can only do so if by making an appointment within 10 days of your release with the sheriff's office. So again, you're not allowed to go back unless you bond out and you go with the sheriff to pick up things that belong to you. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, you subject yourself to a bond revocation and potentially additional felony charges of aggravated stalking or influencing a witness, up to 20 years in prison, and or a $20,000 fine. Let me also say, ladies and gentlemen, that if the person I tell you to stay away from or the alleged victim in your case is a spouse, a family member, boyfriend, girlfriend, they can't be the one to bond you out. So you will have to find somebody else. Lastly, before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you all really briefly about a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing is before your trial. It's where you are present, your attorney is present, the judge is present, and they determine whether or not there's enough evidence to move forward, to go forward to prosecute your case. If they determine there is not enough evidence, your case can be dismissed at that point, even though it may come back later. Now, if you are charged with a felony here this morning, I'm going to tell you, yes, you're charged with a felony, and I'm going to give you a preliminary hearing date. If you are charged with a misdemeanor, you have a right to that preliminary hearing, or you can waive that right. So if you're charged with a misdemeanor, and I tell you you're charged with a misdemeanor this morning, I'm going to ask you whether you want me to give you that preliminary hearing or if you want me to waive it. If you choose to waive it, all that means is that's one extra hearing you're not going to have, which essentially means that you may get your case to the prosecutor quicker to get it resolved. But again, you are entitled to that hearing this morning if you so choose. Now, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go ahead and read the oath and administer it to you. So if I could have everybody please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the information that you're about to give to this court, as well as any information you provided on your application for court-appointed counsel, is true and correct? If so, I need each of you to say I do. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can put your hands down. All right. All right, so we're going to start with those ladies, I believe, on jots, and we'll do those off jots. Okay, Deputy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me 1 second here. It logged me out.
Blankenship just got out. Or Blankeny.
Okay, she bonded out.
Yeah, she just got out.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. So they took her off. The only one I'm showing on jots that's left is Nakia Kemp, EMP. Uh-oh. I lost you there, Deputy. Oh, okay, there we go. You, Ms. Kemp?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So Ms. Kemp here, you're here, of course, this morning for your first appearance. You are charged with 1 count of felony arson in the first degree, ma'am. A couple things I need to tell you. One, you are going to have, as I mentioned earlier, a preliminary hearing. I'm going to give you your bond amount, but if you fail to bond out, your next court date is going to be October 21st of 2024, 30 a.m. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Now, as far as your bond amount, ma'am, your bond is going to be $25,000. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now I see here, it says that you are not currently working. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay. And so because of that, ma'am, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And so that means, again, you're going to have a lawyer free of charge that will be able to work on your case for you, okay?
Yes.
All right, ma'am. Well, that's all I have for you this morning. Do you have any questions for me about anything?
No.
All right, ma'am. So then that's all I have. Good luck to you. All right. So then off jots, I've got first up, I believe, Miss Heaven Johnson. Are you Miss Johnson?
Yes.
All right, so Ms. Johnson, you were initially charged here with one count of battery. I've had a chance to look at this warrant here this morning, ma'am, and there was some information that was necessary that was missing. And so as a result of that, ma'am, I have made the decision to dismiss this warrant against you this morning. So you will be released sometime here today. But let me say this, Ms. Johnson, I would make sure that you do not suddenly just leave the county or leave the state of Georgia. It is a possibility that this warrant could be brought back against you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
But as of today, ma'am, your case is dismissed and you will be released.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, I have Miss, I believe it's Kaisha Mitchell. Hi, are you Miss Mitchell?
Yes, sir.
Miss Mitchell, I've reviewed your warrant as well this morning. In addition, your warrant was also missing some necessary information. So as of this morning, Miss Mitchell, your case is being dismissed. I will tell you the same thing I told the individual before you. Simply because I'm dismissing it this morning doesn't mean that it won't be corrected at a later time and this case brought back. But as of today, you will be released later today, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up should be Destiny Pierce, Pierce.
Yes, sir.
Are you Miss Pierce?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Pierce, you are charged with one count of criminal trespass, one count of public drunk. Your bond amount is $2,500 for the trespass, public drunk $1,000 for a total bond of $3,500. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. $3,000 and what?
$500, $3,500.
All right.
Okay. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, ma'am, you do have special conditions. You are to stay away from the address where this allegedly happened, that being 199 Lee Street. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, lastly, you are charged with a misdemeanor, ma'am. So you have a right to a preliminary hearing, or you can waive that preliminary hearing. Which would you like to do? Have it or waive it?
Maybe.
You said waive it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to show that you wanted to waive your hearing here this morning. So the deputy there to your right is going to have a piece of paper for you to sign. And once you sign that piece of paper, ma'am, that's all I have for you this morning. Good luck to you. Okay. All right. So deputy, that should be, let me just double check here. That should be all of our women this morning. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Come on. You gonna buy it?
Okay. Well, first up for the men, I've got Mr. Freddie Aguiar.
Wait,
Okay.
but you gotta sign that because you told him you was gonna wait, sir.
One of
You
y'all.
gotta fill this out.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Aguiar?
Yes, Your Honor.
You did know, I told you in there, that's fine.
Okay. So, Mr. Aguiar, you are charged with one count of speeding and one count of driving on a suspended license. Do you understand that, sir?
Understand that?
Sir, I've had an opportunity to review the information that you provided to us this morning. I am going to go ahead and release you this morning. It doesn't mean your case is over. It just means you are being released today. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Now, I see here that you're working. About how much are you making per month?
About 3,000.
Okay. So because of that, sir, I am not going to be able to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer. So that does mean that if you would like a lawyer, moving forward on your case, that you will have to hire your own. Do you understand that?
I understand that.
All right. So again, your bond, you're being released here this morning. If you would like an attorney, you will have to hire your own. Now, because you're being released, sir, you are waiving your right to that preliminary hearing I spoke of earlier, and you should be released later today. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Next up should be Ashford and then Baker and Brown. Ashford, Baker, and Brown. All right. Are you Mr. Ashford?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Ashford, you are charged with one count of battery family violence and one count of cruelty to children in the third degree. Your bond amount for the battery is $3,500. For the cruelty to children is $2,500 for a total bond of $6,000. You do have special conditions, sir, and that's to stay away from Miss Tatiana Atchison, as well as 244 Flint River Road, apartment M4. Do you understand that, sir?
I know, yes, sir. I understand what you said at the beginning. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, as if that was a place that you were living, sir, prior to this happening, please understand, as I said earlier, you can, if you bond out, can most definitely go back to that incident location, but only with the sheriff's office. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, because you are charged with misdemeanors, as I mentioned earlier, you have the right to a preliminary hearing, or you can waive that preliminary hearing. Which would you like to do? Have it or waive it, sir?
Um,
I'm sorry.
waive it.
All right, sir. So I'm going to show you are waiving your right to that preliminary hearing here this morning. And so what's going to happen, sir, as soon as you and I are done talking, you're going to step there to the right. The deputy is going to have a piece of paper for you to sign. The only other thing I needed to let you know, sir, is looking at the information that you provided here this morning. I am not going to be able to hire or appoint you an attorney free of charge. You will have to hire your own. Do you understand that, Mr. Ashford?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you this morning, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Next.
Are you Mr. Baker?
Brown.
All right. Is there an Andrew Baker? That's who I
Who's
had.
Baker? Baker.
Andrew. And I can do Daniel Brown since he's right here. Then we'll do Baker next. Are you Daniel Brown?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Brown, you are charged here. Let me get you up with 1 count of criminal trespass, 1 count of battery, family violence, 1 count of aggravated assault as a felony, and 1 count of obstruction of an officer. Now, because you are charged with a felony, sir, you will get a preliminary hearing date. That hearing date is going to be October 21st, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom, okay?
Yes, sir.
Again, that's going to be October 21st. That's going to be at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, reviewing the information that you provided to us here this morning, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a lawyer free of charge, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Now, as to your bond, the bond amount for the trespass is $2,500. For the battery, it's $3,500. For the ag assault, I'm going to put you on a no bond status. And then finally, for the obstruction, it's the bond amount of $2,500. And so your total bond amount that you have is $9,000, but you are a no bond on that aggravated assault. You're going to have, in addition to the court date for the preliminary hearing of October 21st, you're also going to have a secondary bond hearing date. That bond hearing date is going to be for them to review your bond. That's going to be October 25th at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. So I am going through here. Have you ever served in the military? No. Give me 1 second. I'm just finishing some information here for you so you can fill it out online. All right, sir. So again, you got 2 upcoming court dates here, the 21st for your prelim, the 25th for your bond hearing date. You're a no bond on the felony aggravated assault and $9,000 in bond for the remaining charges. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
I do have one question.
Yes, sir.
The one that's on the 25th, is that like a redo for the one that's no bond? Or-
Yes, sir. That's for them to take a look and reconsider your bond at that time.
Okay, cool. All right.
All right, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Stop on up, sir.
And your name, sir?
Andrew Baker.
All right, Mr. Baker, I don't have a sheet for you here. Did you fill out one of our court-appointed sheets this morning?
Yes, sir.
Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Okay, I've got it. It was a little bit out of order. Okay. All right, so Mr. Baker, I see here you are not working. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. As of right now, not.
All right, so Mr. Baker here this morning, you are charged with 1 count of illegal substances found in your possession within 100 feet of a park, prohibited activities being found on you, that being magnetic strip machines in your vehicle, possession of a financial transaction card, possession of a financial transaction card forgery, and possession of illegal drugs. Now, those, sir, are all felonies. That means that you are going to automatically get a preliminary hearing date that I mentioned earlier. Your preliminary hearing date, sir, is going to be October 21st of 2024, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, as to your bond amount, we're gonna go through that now. The felony drugs within 100 feet of a park has a bond amount of $3,500. Prohibited activities involving that machine, another $3,500. The transaction for forgery device, 5,000. And then finally, possession of a felony amount of drugs is also 5,000. So that gives you a total bond amount, sir, of $17,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about your bond?
No, sir.
All right, sir. So based on that, I believe that's all I have for you. Again, your next court date is going to be the 21st of October if you don't bond out on the $17,000 bond for your preliminary hearing. And I have appointed you a court-appointed lawyer this morning. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up should be Cador, Calhoun, and Craven.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Are you Mr. Cador?
Yes, sir.
You're here, sir. So, Mr. Cador, are you currently working?
Yeah,
And about how much are you earning per month, sir?
I don't really know how much I make a month.
What kind of work do you do?
I move houses.
Okay, and on a given day that you move, that's probably not an everyday thing, is that right?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Do you move houses every day?
Depending on the work, is a gig work, so it's not every day. It's
And
whenever.
about how much do you earn per day when you do that?
I would say maybe close to about no more than $200 a day.
Oh.
I do work.
Okay. All right, sir. So you were charged here with one count of criminal trespass as a misdemeanor. Your bond amount, sir, is $2,500. You do have to you have special conditions. You are to stay away from Destiny Epps, as well as stay away from the address of 236 Ridge Trail. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, I understand.
If that's somewhere, as I said before, that you were living prior to this happening, please understand that you can return to that address, but only with the assistance of the sheriff. Now, this is a misdemeanor, sir, so you have a right to a preliminary hearing, or you can waive that right. Which would you like to do, have it or waive it?
I'm bonding, so I'll waive it.
All right. So I am going to show here, sir, that you are waiving your right to the preliminary hearing this morning. That means after you and I are done speaking, the deputy will have a piece of paper there for you to sign. Once you sign that piece of paper, sir, then you'll be good to go, okay?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Do you have any questions for me before I let you go?
No, sir, that's it.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
And are you Mr. Calhoun?
Good morning.
I'm sorry?
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Calhoun?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Calhoun, you're here this morning, as I mentioned earlier, for your first appearance. You are charged with one count of fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer as a misdemeanor, as well as one count of possession of drugs with the intent to distribute. The misdemeanor fleeing carries a bond amount of $3,500. The possession with the intent to distribute carries a bond amount of $5,000. Your total bond amount, sir, is $8,500. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
All right, so now looking at the information you provided here, I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna appoint you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning, sir. So you will get a lawyer free of charge to assist you on your case, okay?
All right.
Other than that, sir, do you have any questions for me about anything?
No, if you do that.
All right, sir. Well, then that's all I have for you this morning. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I can't come and show you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Craven?
No, sir, Mr. Day.
Mr. Day? Okay. Is there we'll go ahead and do Mr. Day, but is there a Dale Craven? Can we have him next? Is he still here?
Come on.
All right, so we'll do Day and then come back to Craven. All right, so Mr. Day, looking here, you are charged with one count of failure to stop at a stop sign and one count of driving with a suspended license. Sir, I have gone ahead and reviewed all the information that you provided to us here this morning. And based on that, I'm going to do a couple things. One, I'm going to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning. So you will have a lawyer free of charge if you need it. Two,
Yes, sir.
I want to go ahead and release you this morning. That doesn't mean that your case is over, sir, but it does mean that you will get to go home today, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, so just please make sure before you leave that the sheriff's office has your best known address. And that way they'll be able to send to wherever you'll be staying your next court date, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Right, yes, sign first.
Are you Mr. Craven?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Craven, you are here for your first appearance. You are charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act as a felony, possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. You're charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon as well. These are all felonies, sir. And so your next court date is going to be October 21st, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. So that's going to be your preliminary hearing, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, because you provided us some information here this morning, in addition, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, as to your bond, the felony drugs carries a bond of $5,000, the firearm $10,000, and the convicted felon $10,000. And so your total bond, sir, this morning is $25,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Do I have a warrant in Henry County too? Do I have to post that bond before I can go there or?
You would have to post this bond first before you could be transferred to Henry County.
Okay, okay.
All right, sir. Well, that's all I have for you. So good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where am I going to say?
And next up, I have, it should be Greer. Are you Mr. Greer? Are you Mr. It should be Greer, Harris, and then Margolis. Greer, Harris, Margolis. Are you Mr. Greer?
Not my goal. Where's my goal?
Greer, Harris. Are you Mr. Greer?
I am.
Okay, so Mr. Greer, you're charged with one count of public drunk, one count of simple assault, and then also one count of reckless conduct, sir. Those are all misdemeanors, which means you have the right to a preliminary hearing, or you can waive that right to your hearing. Which would you like to do this morning? Have it or waive it, sir?
I'll waive it. If I waive it, that means I'm not, this is gonna be a minute until I go to court, right?
Well, if you waive it, that means it's going to get your case quicker to court and likely to the prosecutor so that they can review it. Whether you get out sooner or not is going to be really up to whether or not you're able to bond out. But it does, yes, sir, make your case move a little quicker. Okay.
All right. So
So I'm gonna show that you're waiving your bond hearing. Let me give you your preliminary hearing. Let me give you your bond amount. The public drunk carries a bond of $1,000. The simple assault $2,500. The reckless conduct $2,500. Your total bond is $6,000. And you do have a special condition. You're to stay away from Maricela Bobadilla. So that's the lady that you were alleged to have assaulted. Do you understand that?
I hear you.
Okay. I think you had a question for me. Was it something you wanted to ask?
Yeah, no, don't worry about it.
Okay. All right, sir. So again, you waived your preliminary hearing. I've appointed you a court.
Oh, yeah. What it was like, if I bond out, it automatically waived, right?
Well, you said you wanted me to waive it, so yes, you waived it regardless.
Okay.
All right. So the deputy there is gonna have a piece of paper for you to sign, and once you sign, sir, that's all I've got for you today.
All right, thanks a bunch.
Thank you. All right. Next up should be Harris and then Margolis. Are you Mr. Harris?
Yes.
And I see here you are not working. Is that right, Mr. Harris?
No, sir.
Okay. So, Mr. Harris, you are charged with one count of felony possession of drugs, loitering and prowling as a misdemeanor, possession of drug-related objects, and you're also charged with
Yeah, well, I was already at the end, so right.
tampering with evidence. Give me 1 second here. Sorry.
And would I be able to? Yeah, that's what you talk to them about. And how.
This guy, man.
Just give me 1 second here. Mr. Harris. I think I got some information for you here. And it's Mr. Harris, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, I got you right here. So, Mr. Harris, I was reviewing your warrant this morning, and so there are a couple things. So initially, as I said, you were charged by law enforcement for several counts, that being the loitering or prowling, possession of drug-related objects, the tampering with evidence, and the possession of felony drugs. I had a chance to review your warrant, sir, and based on some information that was lacking, I'm actually going to dismiss the drug count, the drug-related object count, and the tampering with evidence. So the only thing that's going to be remaining, sir, is the misdemeanor loitering and prowling. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now, my question to you, Mr. Harris, since all you'll have remaining is one count of misdemeanor loitering or prowling, which would you like to do here this morning? You have a right to waive your preliminary hearing, or we can set that preliminary hearing court date for you. Which would you like to do, have it or waive it?
What's the difference?
So if you decide to have that hearing, sir, then what's going to happen is I'll set a court date for you, and that's where you're there, the police are there, as well as the judge, to go over where there's enough evidence to go forward on this loitering or prowling. Or you can skip it, and then I can send it on straight to the prosecutor, so it does make your case move a little faster.
I would actually like to go with the in front of the
In front of the judge.
and the police officer, that because he was clearly told we were given permission to be back.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, sir, and I'm going to set your preliminary hearing date. So if you don't make your bond, then your next court date, sir, is going to be October 22nd, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Again, you are charged with one count left of misdemeanor loitering or prowling, and your next court date for you is going to be on one count of loitering or prowling, October 22nd, 8:30 a.m. Now, your bond for that one count is going to be $2,500. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I've also, as I think I said earlier, appointed you a court-appointed lawyer, and that's going to be free of charge for you, sir. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Margolis.
Sir, come over here.
And then after Margolis, I've got Mays, Mosby, and Seaton.
Mays, Mobley, and
All right. Yeah. Are you Mr. Margolis?
Yes. Mobley, and
All right. So, Mr. Margolis, I had an opportunity to look at the information that was provided to me this morning on your case, and I have. Give me 1 second here. Yeah. So we were missing some information on your case here, Mr. Margolis, and so I had to go ahead and continue your case. And so you will have to come back tomorrow. I've already contacted the deputy, and I've let them know to return you tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
All right, sir.
Yeah, all the way down on your right, all the way down on your right.
Your
All
Honor,
right, so- Yes.
hey, Greer said he wasn't sure he was approved for a court-appointed attorney.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
You got one. All right,
Yep.
thank you. Who's next?
Should be Mays, then Mosby, and Seaton.
Mays.
All right, are you Mr. Mays?
Yes, sir.
All right, give me 1 second here. Let me get your paperwork.
If y'all stand to the right, she can't see you right there.
All right, so Mr. Mays, you are charged here with one count of driving with a suspended license, one count of speeding, and it says one count of possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Your bond amount here. I don't know why did it do that? Give me 1 second, sir. The computer is acting up. Just give me 1 second here. All right, sir. So you were charged with all those. I said there was all misdemeanors, a suspended license, speeding, and possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana. Based on the information that has been provided to me, sir, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to release you here this morning. So it doesn't mean that your case is over, sir, but you will be allowed to be out until your case is called again to be heard by a judge. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, the only thing I would ask that you do, Mr. Mays, is Once you are released here or prior to your being released, please make sure that the best known address is what they have on file here, because your next court date is going to be sent to you in the mail. And so what you don't want to have happen, Mr. Mays, is you miss your next court date, and then you be put back in custody and have to make bond, okay?
Okay.
Now, I see here that you are working. About how much are you making per month, sir?
3,500.
You said 3,500?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so based on that, sir, I am not going to be able to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning. And so if you would like a lawyer to assist you on your case, you will have to hire one free of charge. Do you understand that, Mr. Mays?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
All right, sir, then that's all I have for you. Good luck to you.
Next up.
Should be Mosby and then Seaton.
Mosley, you next.
Use your hands, man. Well, keep hurting if you don't try to work it out.
Is there Mr. Mosby? Is he up there? Oh, okay, got it. Are you Mr. Mosby, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Mosby, you are, of course, I don't know if you heard me, but this is your preliminary hearing, sir. So I'm going to advise you of what you've been charged with. You've been charged with 1 count of speeding, 1 count of obstruction of an officer, 1 count of seatbelt violation, driving without headlights, driving on the wrong side of the road, reckless driving, fast for conditions, open container. You were charged with driving under the influence. I have dismissed that charge. You were charged with 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. You were charged with 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of crime. I have dismissed that charge. You were charged with 1 count of driving with suspended license. You were charged with 1 count of possession of a legal weapon. You were charged with 1 count of improper lane change. You were charged with 1 count of improper turn signal. I have dismissed that charge. And you were charged with 1 count of fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer as a felony. Now, because you were charged with felonies here, sir, if you don't make your bond that I'm going to give you here this morning, you will have a court date for a preliminary hearing coming up. And that court date is going to be October 21st. And that's going to be at 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be via Zoom. Again, that's going to be October 21st. And that's going to be at 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that, sir?
So if I don't make bond, that's the day I'll have to go over to the courthouse from here?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay.
Now, after your bond, I'm going to give you your bond. 1 count of speeding is 500. 1 count of obstruction, 2,500. The seatbelt, 500. The headlight, 500. Driving on the wrong side of the roadway, 500. Reckless driving, 2,500. Fast for conditions, 500. Open container, 1,000. Convicted felon, 10,000. Suspended license, 1,500. Illegal weapon, 10,000. Improper lane change, 5,000. And fleeing or attempting to elude is 3,500. Your total bond, sir, is $34,000. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now, again, because you're charged with felonies, your next court date is going to be the 21st of October at 8:30 a.m. if you don't make bond. Unless you've got any questions of me, Mr. Mosby, that's all I have for you, sir.
If I have to make bond and get transferred over to another county, and I'm in that county, and so this court date comes up, are they gonna transport me, or would I get a later court date?
If I heard you correctly, because it kind of went out for a second, you said if you make bond, will you be transferred to the new county? Is that correct?
Yes, but once I get transferred, if I'm there longer than the 21st of October, which is my next court date, am I gonna get brought back here for my preliminary?
For your court date, be honest with you, I don't have anything to do with that. If you are, typically they won't transfer you if you've got an upcoming court date, even if you have bonded out. And so I would just, well, excuse me, if you don't bond out, then you'll stay here.
Right.
And you'll deal with this first. If you
Right.
bond out, then yes, you waive that right to that hearing, so you're not going to have that hearing anyway, okay?
Right.
All right, any other questions I can answer for you?
No, sir.
All right, sir, good luck to you.
Appreciate it.
Mhm.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And it should be this is the last one. Mr. Seaton?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Seaton, you are charged with one count of criminal trespass as a misdemeanor. So you have a right to a preliminary hearing, sir, or you can waive that right to that preliminary hearing. Which would you like to do, sir? Have the hearing or waive it?
I guess waive it.
All right, sir. So I am going to show that you are waiving your hearing. Are you working right now?
Self-employed,
And how much do you make per month?
about 2,000.
Okay. I am going to go ahead, sir, and I'm going to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Now, again, because you are charged with a count of misdemeanor, criminal trespass, your bond amount is $2,500. Do you understand that?
I guess. Yeah.
What do you mean you say you get?
I mean, I don't understand why I'm even charged, because I didn't, I mean.
Well,
my mom was
so-
one that hit me.
So remember what I said earlier. So I can't talk to you about what you, why, the defense is or what's going on. The only thing I can do is let you know what you've been charged with here moving forward. And then at that point, any concerns that you have about whether it's a valid charge, you would have to speak to your lawyer about that, okay?
Okay.
All right, any questions that you have for me about the procedure? So again, I've given you a lawyer free of charge. I've advised you your bond amount is $2,500. I've advised you of what you are charged with, okay?
Stay in the corner so she can see.
Okay.
Any other questions for me about those things, sir?
What would constitute me getting an OR on that?
You can check this way.
No, sir, no ORs on that.
Okay, then,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
All right, then last up should be Emmett Williams on JOTS, and then we have the few that are off. Yeah, Emmett Williams.
Sure, I told everybody.
And then he waived also, deputy, so he should have to sign, and then like I said, last should be Emmett Williams. Are you Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams, are you currently working? Are you working?
No, Your Honor, I'm homeless.
Okay. All right.
Everybody back, see.
All right, so Mr. Williams, you are charged with one count of possession of felony drugs. That is a felony, as I said, and so because of that, sir, I'm going to give you your bond amount. If you fail to make your bond, your next court date for your preliminary hearing is going to be October 21st, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that, sir? Do you understand that, Mr. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, your bond
Yeah.
amount, sir, for this
No.
one, hold on, let me finish and then I'll let you talk. That bond amount for that one count of felony drugs, sir, is $3,500. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, sir. And I think you were trying to tell me something. Did you have some questions?
No, sir.
All right, sir. Well, then that's all I have for you, sir. I am good to go. And if you don't have any questions, you're free to go back to your cell.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good luck to you. All right, so we should be off JOTS now, and the first up that I have is Mr. Bustamante. All right, are you Mr. Bustamante?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you are charged with one count of obstruction of an officer, one count of disorderly conduct here. Those are both misdemeanors, sir. Because those are misdemeanors, you have a right to a preliminary hearing, or, sir, you can waive that right to that preliminary hearing. I don't know if you heard me earlier when I was describing what that is, but do you want to have that hearing, sir, or would you like to waive that hearing?
Can't understand what you're saying.
Okay, so I was asking you about your preliminary hearing, so I can kind of go over it again for you if you need me to do that.
Don't mind, yeah, you cut off since the beginning.
Okay, so I was talking about a preliminary hearing. Again, I'm not sure if you heard me earlier, but a preliminary hearing is where you are present, the judge is present, the officer is present who arrested you, and you all will go over the charges against you. Okay? When you go over those charges, a judge is going to be there to determine if there's enough evidence against you, Mr. Bustamante, for your case to go to the prosecutor. If there is not enough evidence, a judge will dismiss it right there. Doesn't mean that they can't bring it back at some point, but for the time being, your case will be dismissed, okay? Now, because you are charged with misdemeanors, sir, you have a right to that hearing, or you can tell me, Judge, I don't want that hearing. I want you to waive my hearing, and I want you to go ahead and go straight to the prosecutor, and that can make your case move a little faster. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor, we can waive it.
All right, so I'm gonna show here this morning, Mr. Bustamante, that you would like me to waive your preliminary hearing. Now, as to your bond amount here for those misdemeanors, I'm gonna tell you that here, and then we'll get you on back to your cell. Your bond amount, sir, for the misdemeanor obstruction is $3,500. For the disorderly conduct, your bond amount is $1,500 for a total bond of $5,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, I understand that you are not working. Is that correct?
No, sir.
All right, so I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning. So again, I've appointed you a court-appointed lawyer. Your bond amount is $5,000. You've advised that you would like me to waive your preliminary hearing. And so with that, sir, the deputy is going to have a piece of paper for you to sign. And then once you sign that, you'll be good to go. All right, did you hear me?
Yes, sir, he understood, Your Honor.
Okay, got it. All right. And you are, sir?
Matthew Freeman.
All right, so Mr. Freeman, you are charged with one count of possession of a illegal item there in the jail, Clayton County Jail. That is a felony. So your bond amount, sir, is going to be $5,000. Now, because that is a felony, sir, you do have an upcoming court date if you don't make your bond, and that's going to be on October 21st at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom for your preliminary hearing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, based on the information I have here this morning, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer. So you will have a lawyer free of charge as well, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, Mr. Freeman, that's all I have for you this morning, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Hunter?
No, I'm Mr. Morris.
I'm gonna take him down. Hunter, come up.
All right, I got you.
Are you Mr. Hunter?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hunter, you're charged with one count of driving distracted, one count of obstruction, one count of felony drugs, and one count of violation of a seatbelt law. Your bond for the distracted driving is $500. Your bond for the obstruction, $2,500. Your bond for the felony drugs is $10,000, and your bond for the seatbelt is $500. So you have a total bond, sir, of $13,500. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, I understand that you are working here. However, based on the information that I have, sir, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a lawyer free of charge. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, you are charged with felonies. And so because of that, sir, if you fail to make that bond that I just gave you, I am going to go ahead and, you're getting that lawyer free of charge, but you will also have, if you don't make bond, an upcoming court date of October 21st at 8:30 a.m. and that's going to be via Zoom. Again, that's October 21st, 8:30 a.m. and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Any questions for me about anything?
No.
All right, then that's all I have for you, sir. Good luck to you. All right, now it should be Morris.
You're right.
How you doing, sir?
7.
All right, are you Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Mr. Morris, you are charged with one count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and one count of theft by deception. Do you understand that?
Kind of, sort of, yes, sir.
So you were found to be in possession of a firearm, already being a convicted felon. And as far as the theft goes, I didn't have that in front of me, so I only had the felony firearm.
Yes, sir.
I was reviewing your history, your criminal history, sir. I'm showing that it appears you have a few months left on probation in Fulton County on a 2015 case. And so because of that, sir, I am not permitted by law to give you a bond on that felony. So your bond amount, sir, on the theft is $2,000, but you're on a no bond on the felony gun charge. Do you understand that?
The gun charge?
Yep. So you got 2,000 on the theft, a no bond on the gun charge. This is an old case. It says it looks like it was from back in January. So that may be why you don't remember January of 23, what happened on it. But it looks like you were picked up on a warrant for that here recently. So because you were charged with a felony, sir, and you're on a no bond, you're going to have 2 court dates. Your next court date is going to be October 21st at 8:30 a.m. That's going to be for your preliminary hearing. Then you're going to have a court date of October 25th at 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be for them to reconsider your bond. Do you understand?
It's in my court date, October 25th.
October 21st is your first court date, and that's going to be for your preliminary hearing. Then it's going to be October 25th for your bond hearing. Okay?
All right.
All right. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir. I'm just confused.
All right. All right. Good luck to you, sir. And your name, sir?
Felix Wiley.
All right. Good. All right. So, Mr. Wiley, you were charged with 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, home invasion in the first, aggravated assault, cruelty to children in the third, and terroristic threats. Your bond amount on the cruelty to children is $5,000. On the terroristic threats, $10,000. On the remaining felony charge, you're on a no bond. No bond on the kidnapping, on the firearm, home invasion, and aggravated assault. If you are granted bond on those charges, sir, you will have to stay away from a Kamanthony Gardner. Hold on, sir. Kamanthony Gardner and a Terica Hurst. You will also have to stay away from 2001 Godby Road. Do you understand that? Do you understand that, sir?
Yeah, it broke up when you
So
started calling names.
So I was telling you, you do have special conditions if you are given bond at some point, and those will be you have to stay away from Kamanthony Gardner and Terica Hurst. Okay?
Okay.
So that's all I have for you, sir. Again, you're on a no bond status on your felonies. Your next court dates are going to be the 21st at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom for your prelim. October 25th is going to be your bond hearing date for them to reconsider your bond. Based on the information I have, sir, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer. So you will have a lawyer free of charge to help you on your case, okay?
Okay, so I don't got no bond?
No bond, sir.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Good, you good, you good. You know about your own.
All right. And are you Mr. Wiley?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Wiley, you were charged here with 1 count of terroristic threat,
Yeah.
1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of home invasion, 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of cruelty to children, and 1 count of terroristic threats. Your bond amount on the aggravated assault is no bond. Your bond amount on the home invasion is no bond. Your bond amount on the kidnapping is no bond. Your bond amount on the cruelty to children is $5,000, and your bond amount on the terroristic threats is $10,000. You do have special conditions, sir, and they are to stay away from Kamanthony Gardner and Terica Hurst, as well as from the address of 2001 Godby Road. Do you understand that?
Do
you understand that, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Did you hear me?
Well, you have
Okay. I was telling you, sir, that you're on a no bond here, and that also you have special conditions if you're given bond at some point that you're going to have to stay away from Kamanthony Gardner and Terica Hurst. Okay. Did you hear that, sir?
No, sir.
Stay away from Kamanthony Gardner and Terica Hurst if you get out. Okay.
All right.
Okay. That's all I've got for you, sir. Your next court dates are going to be October 21st at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom and October 25th for your bond. Good luck to you.
No. No, actually.
All right. And Deputy, that should be everybody.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.